Hello FIFA fans and welcome to this introduction video of the Academy story. I'm going to keep this short and sweet to try and keep you guys engaged. So, the gist of it, we are going to take Exeter City, bottom tier English League football, all the way up to the Premier League. But that's just the baseline, you know, that's the standard thing. This series is going to have so much more. It's all about the Academy players. No real players are going to be used in this series whatsoever. And you're going to really learn about these players. You're going to get involved. You're going to see them develop. It's going to be so exciting. There's so many features, so many modifications. Nobody else is doing anything like this out there. It all starts with getting rid of every single real player in Exeter City's squad. Then what we do is we do the financial takeover and we go out and we make sure that we get 5-star scouts, 3 of them. We then send them all over the globe in the first season and we bring back up to 25 players. All different nationalities, all youth players, and that is the basis of the team. A few little key pointers here then. It's on legendary difficulty, nothing else but that. No slider adjustments, 6-minute halves, no game sims whatsoever. You will see every single game, of course, cut right down to just the best bits and highlights. No real players are going to be in the team whatsoever. We will be staying with Exeter City until we reach the top flight, and there will be a maximum of 26 players in the squad. Okay, they're all going to have different nationalities, and yeah, you're going to follow the story of every single one of these players from day one through their 10 years career, and you're going to see them all develop into hopefully superstars. This series has completely one-of-a-kind features and mods. The beauty of doing it on the PC means that I can bring you features that really should be in the game, but they're not. And of course, hopefully you guys will be able to get immersed within the features that I bring. So this series will span 10 years, or if we manage to end up getting the quadruple, which is going to be very unlikely. It took me a long time when I did this in FIFA 17 behind closed doors. But if we were able to get the quadruple in, let's say 6, 7, 8 years, then we'll hold this series there, unless by popular demand, people want it to keep going. Now, you really will be able to follow the stories from the moment that we get these youth players. Like this player here, who's, of course, in this series, Arnie Jacobs. This is him from the Youth Academy. You'll see him develop throughout the season, throughout the years, and turning into a world-class player, alongside every single other player that we've got from the Youth Academy and by other means. So what do I mean then? What do I mean by following the players? Well, of course, you're going to watch the players grow over the 10 years, like I've said. You're also going to get involved in the player development. Now, that's via polls, that's by leaving comments in the comment section below on YouTube, whatever and however, whatever you think, you know, it's going to be a career mode series together. So if you've got any feedback, throw it at me, and of course, I'll look to implement things and change things up. Now, we can just see the pictures at the bottom. This is what I'm talking about player development. We can see this is all hypothetical. This is just to show you, to paint a picture in your head. But Arnie Jacobs, that's, let's say, how he is when we get him on day one. And because of the ability, what I can do is we can change everything. So they can train skill moves, they can train weak foot. Of course, naturally, as they get older, they're going to put on a little bit more weight, get a little bit more muscle. They're going to change their hairstyles. And we can just see in the years there, from 16 to 18 to 22, all the way up to the age of 26, you can see these players change. So you can really start to get to know them. You can really enjoy watching them instead of seeing the same old 16-year-old face 10 years later on thinking, okay, I'm bored of this. This is just the tip of the iceberg. There is so much more to it than just following the player developments. What you're really going to start seeing a lot of, and we haven't used them too much in the first season yet, but of course, the 3rd season, the 5th season, we're going to start really implementing the pool question. So getting you guys involved, how should we develop players? And it kind of links on to the next thing we're going to show here, because you're thinking, hey, what? Player training tokens. Now, this is something completely unique. It's basically a way of adapting the gameplay. So we can customize players. Every player has a different unique personality. They can get different tokens. They can use them for different things. I would recommend probably watching, I think it's the 3rd, 4th, 5th episode, because I go into a little bit more detail about what this means. But I will always re-emphasize this at the start of every new season. So if I do get new watchers, you viewers, you can see from whatever season you're starting from, oh, okay, this is what that means. With things such as tokens, this is what's going to make it possible to change things, because we don't just want to be changing stuff willy-nilly. We don't just want to change all the skill moves because we can. It all comes down to immersion. We need to make this series fun. It needs to be realistic. It needs to be done in a way that's going to keep you guys engaged. So what can we train? Well, we can train skill moves. That makes sense. Of course, you don't start out as a footballer with absolutely immense skills. Cristiano Ronaldo didn't get to where he was today by just sitting around. He wasn't the same player 10 years ago, let's say. So these things can change. Players change over the span of 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years, and this is what we're going to really dive into. Of course, the only way we're going to be able to change these things, we need a team. We need a team of experts, and you can see them on the screen now. These are the types of guys that we're going to be using. One of the guys here, just to name a couple, Simon is a master scout, and he knows everything there is to know about scouting, and he's the kind of guy that's going to be bringing us back absolutely immense players. And this guy knows how to motivate the players. If there's a player coming to our office saying, you know what, I think I want to move on after my 1 year contract, well, here, pull him aside and say, well, I tell you what, I reckon we can work something out here. He is an absolute legend, as are all the training staff, and you'll get to know them all as the seasons progress. And finally, the system itself. How is this going to work? Well, 5 seasons are going to be aired on YouTube and via my website, and 5 seasons are going to be behind closed doors. So what does that mean? Well, the first season is already passed, so we're almost coming to the end of the first aired season, because the first season that I did behind closed doors was to get all the youth players, to get rid of all the actual real life players. You need a season to get to make that happen. The second season is where we start the first YouTube season. So the next season after that, that's just going to be me. Behind closed doors, I will be doing things like simming games and things, because what I really want is, well, we all know that things like the Youth Academy, the players don't start developing a lot of their stats, their physical stats, until later on, you know, by the 3rd, 4th season. And what I don't want really is for you guys to get bored with just seeing the same players kind of not really progressing. So it also comes down to time. I don't know if I'm going to have time to be able to air 10 seasons throughout the next however long. So we're going to do 5 seasons. So like the guy who's Arnie Jacobson, you're going to see this guy develop, but you're not going to see it every single year. You're going to, of course, we can catch up on the development and the aired series, but what we really want is we just want to see these players actually progress. We don't want it to go slow time. It will take far too long to make 10 aired series. We'd probably never get there. So we're going to do the 5, and then we can see how they develop. Of course, we're not going to, on the seasons that I'm not airing, we're not going to push for promotion and things like that. Of course, I want you guys to be involved in that, but it's going to be 5 seasons that are going to be aired on YouTube, and there's going to be, of course, the 2-year gap effectively. So yeah, Arnie Jacobs you'll see from the age of 16, then the next time you'll see him will be when he's 18, and then when he's 20, and of course working up like that. So you're always going to see them, but the aired matches and things like that, all that will happen in between in the closed seasons, I will just probably release an hour video just to give you a summary of how that season went. We can have a look at how the players are developed. And there are going to be 15 episodes per season, okay? And they're going to be anywhere from 15 minutes to 1 hour long. I will try and keep them round about the half-hour mark. And of course, I only want to show you the best bits, the best match highlights, and the things that are going to keep you guys engaged. I'm not going to have you sat there staring at rubbish screens, me progressing, because you're not interested in that at all. We are going to play every game, so you will see match highlights of every game. Some will be shorter, some will be longer, but we will cram everything in on the closed ones in an hour. Everything else will be, yeah, we managed to get everything into 15 episodes, and the one thing I can guarantee is I'll keep it engaging, guys. If you've always got feedback, if there's things you're not enjoying, all you need to do is write in the comments, maybe you shouldn't do that, maybe you should do this, and I can adapt. You know, I'm new to this whole YouTube scene. But we're going to leave it there. Hopefully I've got you guys psyched for the series. And of course, no matter where we are in the year, you can start watching this whenever you want. You know what I mean? It's not about, you don't, if you miss the first season, well, so what? You can start on the 3rd season and you can see the players still develop. You can go back and just glance over the episodes. But yeah, I'm psyched about it. Hopefully you guys are too. And it'd be awesome to have you involved. Other than that, guys, thanks for watching and take it easy.